So sorry for the background light, but that is how we're practicing today. So we're going to start seated, and this whole series is going to be for when you're really angry. You can do this practice when you're feeling really hot-tempered. This will be a 30-minute practice where you can let it go and flow through these poses. So let yourself sink in. Closing your eyes. Notice when you close your eyes what your attention is immediately drawn to. Are you drawn to a feeling or a certain place in your body? Or your breath? And if it's your breath, where do you feel your breath? Do you feel your breath high up in the chest, in the center of your heart? And if that's the case, relax your belly and receive the following inhale in a soft stomach. Relaxing, exhale and inhale into a soft belly. Take a few more breaths, utilizing the full torso, breathing into your belly and filling up from there, filling up low into the stomach, into the ribs, into the chest. Letting it go gently as you exhale. On your inhales, feel your side body get a little bit longer. Filling up belly, ribs, chest. And as you exhale, feel your neck get longer. Inhale, belly, ribs, chest, side body elongates. Exhale, stay up tall, relax your shoulders, make space for the neck. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. We will begin to practice fists of anger, a Kundalini Kriya, to release anger and to release things that aren't serving you. So we'll take the hands into fists, curling the thumb in and then curling your fingers around. And you're going to have your thumbs facing up on the legs. And the motion of this pranayama, this breathing exercise, this kriya, is to throw your arm like you're doing maybe like backstroke. And imagine when you're throwing your hands behind you that you're throwing whatever is bothering you behind you. And you can do this for up to 3 minutes. However, in the beginning, it'll probably be impossible to do 3 minutes. So you can pause the video. I'll do it for about a minute, and if you want to do it longer, you can pause and continue. And when you throw your hand behind your head, be exhaling out your mouth like an O. Release your palms open. Keep the eyes closed and notice how you feel. Maybe the heart feels a little more active, and you can pause here and continue. Or sit for a moment with this feeling of completion, throwing the shit you don't need behind you. Inhale, lift your arms. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale through the nose, lift your arms. Exhale out the nose, hands to heart. Bring your hands behind you and bring your feet to the mat. And come into reverse tabletop. Think about this action coming from the feet and the base of your pointer finger and thumb. So your fingers are spread facing forward, feet pushing down, look towards your knees, or drop your head back. Inhale, and exhale, release. Cross your ankles and come forward onto hands and knees. Spread your fingers wide, thumb and pinky spread apart, and hips over your knees. And inhale, lift your chest, arch your back, feel your shoulders drop away from the ears. Think about heart reaching forward, not shrugging up. Release, round the back, come into cat pose. Inhale, come into cow pose, lifting your chin, lift your tailbone, and exhale, rounding. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Do one more. Inhale and exhale. And you can continue doing the same cat and cows, or you can start to activate your abdominals in cow pose, lift your chin and tailbone, and on cat pose, press into the tops of the feet and lift your knees. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Using your navel towards your spine, lifting the knees. Do 3 more. Inhale and exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Continue either cat and cow or lifting the knees, or you can elongate the pose a little bit more. So instead of shoulders over the wrists and hips over the knees, walk the knees back so they're behind the hips, and hands are forward a little wider than your shoulders and a little bit forward. And on your inhales, lower your hips into cobra pose, bend your elbows, and on your exhales, push back into child's pose. And you can take 4 more rounds of any of these variations, regular cat and cow, lifting the knees in the middle, or elongating the pose, breathing in a little bit longer in cobra pose, and releasing it in child's pose. 2 more, however you'd like. And we'll meet in plank pose. Next time you come up through tabletop, extend your legs back. And feel a little bit of heat in your body, a little bit of movement, strong arms, pulling your triceps in, pulling your belly in, lifting your thighs a little bit. And lower to your stomach. Lower your knees, lower down with the elbows close. And bring your hands outside the mat and elbows up. Elbows over your wrists and shoulder loop. Press into your fingers and lift up for a wide cobra pose. So spacing your armpits and elbows and palms. And take 2 lion's breaths, releasing tension. Inhale. Lower down. Come into downward facing dog. Lift your hips up and back. And you can pedal through your feet. Find that comfortable distance. Look at your hands. Make sure your pointer fingers are facing forward. And look back. Make sure you can't see your heels. So the heels are tucked behind the toes so that you can give your legs a little bit of inner rotation. 5 Ujjayi breaths. pushing into your hands to lift your hips, not pressing your chest back towards the thighs, but finding space by pushing into the hands and lifting up. Walk your hands back to your feet and lift up halfway, hands to the shins, and bring your hands back and interlace your fingers and fold forward. To come up, think about coming up with a flat back. So if you want to, you can release your hands, but it might be easier to soften your knees a little bit and pull yourself up with a flat back as opposed to keeping the legs straight. Reach your arms up over your head, take hold of your left wrist and pull up and over towards the right side. Stretch your left side body, but keep the feet firm. And come up to center and switch your sides. Take hold of your right wrist, and pull up to lengthen, and then lean over to the left side. Stretch out through your right side body, but also feel long in your left side. Inhale, center, palms connect, look up, and exhale, fold forward. Inhale, flatten out your back. And exhale, crawl yourself forward to plank pose. Inhale with your shoulders over your wrists. And exhale, lower to your stomach through your knees, or once you're more comfortable, lowering through push-up, lowering belly and chest at the same time. Inhale, cobra pose. Protect your low back. Exhale, down dog. Step your right foot forward in between your hands as you exhale. And lift your hands to your hips. So common here is if you don't have the flexibility or strength here yet, is to bend the back knee. So straighten the back leg, even if that means coming out of the pose a little bit. Straighten your back leg, and then from there bend into the front knee till the ankle is underneath the knee. Lift your arms. And soften around your chest. Feel free here. Feel the low back lengthen, not like you're leaning back, but like you're reaching up. And come into a twist. Bring your left hand down and open yourself up to the right side. Left ribs towards the right. For balance, you can look down at the mat or over to the right or up. Inhale. And exhale, release your hand, step your right foot back. Find plank pose, breathe in through your nose. And exhale, vinyasa. That can be lowering the knees and the chest. Inhale into any cobra you like, baby cobra, a little more lifted. And we'll meet in down dog. Feet and hands secure. Breathing. Stepping your left foot forward as you exhale. Hands to your hips so that you can focus on your foundations. The back heel is lifted. Maybe there's a soft bend into the back knee. So lean forward and push your heel back. Lift your chest and then bend your left knee a little bit more. Lift your arms. Feel serene and soft, supported by your legs. Inhale. Exhale, twist, right hand to the mat, and twist open. So the tendency here, especially if you're over flexible in the shoulders, is to bring your shoulders like this. So think about more your right ribs moving over and your left arm still in line with your heart center, with the center of your chest. Lower your hand, step your right foot forward. Flatten your back, either hands to the shins or the mat, reaching the top of your head forward and hips back, and exhale, fold. Walk your feet wide and come into Malasana. Opening your hips. You can move a little bit in this first one, moving your hips around if you want. Palms can be facing up. Think about your forearms parallel to the mat if you're pretty deep in the pose. And if you feel weak in the pose, maybe come up onto your toes, lifting your heels, or sit on something, a pillow. And go ahead and release and lift your hips, coming into a forward fold, grabbing your elbows, leaning forward into the toes. And bring your hands to your hips, soften into your knees, and come upright to standing. Lift your arms over your head. Do the same side body stretch. Take your left wrist and lean to the right. I know you can't see me, but I'm leaning. And come upright and over to the other side. Reach up, lean over. Come to center. Palms connect, look up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, step back. Plank pose. And we'll meet in down dog. So if at any time this gets tiring, you can, from plank pose, lift your hips. Or you can continue working the flow, letting yourself kind of sweat out a little bit of what is making you angry. Inhale. Exhale, step your right foot forward. And come to that high lunge again. Hands to your hips or overhead. Always an option to keep your hands down, especially if you have neck and upper back tension. Inhale. And exhale, come to warrior two. Flatten your back foot, making sure your right heel is in line with your left arch. And turn yourself towards the left and take your hands to both thighs and pull up a little bit. Lift your own chest and feel yourself pulling up your legs. And then extend your arms in opposite directions and turn your gaze forward without turning your back. So keep your arms in line, squeeze your triceps in. Straighten your front leg and come into triangle pose, hands to your hips, and start to pull the femur bone into the socket, into the hip socket, and lean forward. And whatever feels good here, you can bring your hand to your shin or onto a block or something a little bit taller, or your fingers to the mat. But once you're here, then work your chest. Right ribs over to the left, maybe extend your left arm, but that's the last important thing. Triangle pose, strong legs, elongating your spine forward. And come upright and switch. Left hand reaching down the leg, legs still straight. Press your left hand into your left leg, left hand into your left leg, your left leg into your left hand, and reach your right arm up and back, one line of energy from your foot into your hand, and come upright, and then make your way to down dog. You can bring your hands down, you can step back and go directly to down dog, or you can take your flow. Inhale and down dog. Exhale out the mouth. Inhale. Left foot steps forward. Exhale. And come upright. Come into your high lunge. Notice any wobbling. Notice the back leg. Keep it nice and strong. And we'll come into warrior two. Bring your back heel down and keep your right pinky toe reaching down the whole time. We're never leaning forward here. We're keeping the back leg anchoring us, like we could lean into it. Hands to the thighs, looking to the right, and pull up. And then let your arms float apart. Not shoulders by the ears, but active, soft arms. Can you pull the tricep in? Can you soften through the hands, looking forward? Left knee over the toe. Straighten your front leg. Hands to the hips. Start to pull the left hip back, stacking the right hip on top of the left. Then find your comfortable hand. Hand onto the shin, anywhere besides the knee. You can soften into your left knee. You can lower your left hand or reach your right arm up. Keep the back leg super strong. and come upright and reverse. Right hand to the leg, press your leg into your hand, reach your left arm back. You can look up towards your top hand. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, come upright. And exhale, flow if you wish. Bring your hands down, step your left foot back. Go directly to down dog. Or you can rest in child's pose. You can always add on these flows here. Inhale, exhale. And we'll do that 2 more times each side, but flowing with your breath. Step your left foot forward. Right foot forward. Lift your arms. Open up to warrior 2. Straighten your front leg. Come to triangle pose. And as soon as you're in triangle pose, start to transition out. Pull up, reverse. Come upright. And make your way to down dog. Rest in down dog or child's pose or flow. Inhaling. Switch your sides. Exhale, left foot forward. Sweep your arms up. Transition into warrior 2. Straighten your leg. Triangle pose. Coming upright. Reverse. Come upright. And hands to the mat, flow. And we can flow here through these postures because the first round is when we're really focusing on the alignments. Take one more round here. Inhale, exhale, right foot steps. High lunge, warrior 2. Triangle pose. Reverse triangle. Upright. Flow. Step your left foot forward. Find your rhythm. Find your balance in each pose. Coming in and out of the poses smoothly. Releasing, opening your hips. Moving with your breath. Bring your left foot back. Take one last vinyasa if you wish. And rest in child's pose. Big toes touching, knees apart. Breathe out your mouth if you need. Take 2 more breaths. Come upright onto your hands and your knees, and we'll lower onto the stomach. So you can step back to plank pose or stay on your knees and lower down. Bring your legs in one line, close together, hands behind the back, interlace. And lift your chest, lift your legs, Salabhasana. Squeezing your legs towards each other, squeezing your palms towards each other, activating your back muscles. And go ahead and release. Let your cheek rest to the side. Move your hips if you need. And come back to center and come to Sphinx pose. Elbows a little further forward than your shoulders, opening your chest here. Feel your belly pushing against the mat. Go ahead and lower down. And hands under the shoulders. Extend your right arm out to the right and then push into your left hand and roll open. Let your head relax. Your legs can be stacked or the left foot can step behind the right knee. Open along the right shoulder, right pec. And your left hand can do anything here. It can help keep you balanced, pushing into the mat. You can take your hand to your thigh or let it rest behind your back. And slowly unwind and come to center. And switch your sides. Extend your left hand out to the side and push into your right hand. And roll open. Step your right foot behind if that feels okay for your back. But we're focusing on the left shoulder, releasing tension around your chest and your heart. And your right hand can support you on the mat, on your thigh, behind the back. Breathe here. Rest your head. And roll back. Unwind your legs and your arms. And flip onto your back. Bring your feet in so that you can touch your heels, feet and knees parallel. And take your right foot over your left knee. And take 5 breaths in any variation of reclined pigeon. You can keep your leg over the thigh. You can press your hand into the thigh. You can lift the shape to be closer to you, holding onto the leg and knee, or behind the hamstring or in front of the shin. Flexing your right toes. Taking 2 more breaths. Go ahead and release. And switch your sides. Left leg over the right, opening your left hip like a book, peeling it open, and bring the shape into you if you did it on the other side, stretching the outer hips, using your hands to assist, but try to keep your upper back relaxed onto the mat. And take 2 more deep breaths. Release your right foot and your left foot. Take your hands to your thighs. Push your thigh muscles towards the knees and pull your low back into the mat. Feel your whole back touching the mat here. Trusting, releasing, and release. Come into Shavasana. Extend your legs at least as wide as your mat, if not wider. Let your arms relax, palms facing up. And know that you can always come back to this feeling right here. Even if the mind wanders during this process, during this relaxation, that you can come back, you can find your way back. You can refocus instead of on things that you have to do or people. You can come back to observing your breath, observing it change, observing it slow down, observing it affect the body.